Everyone, thanks for coming back. We are very fortunate today on another episode of Crap Talk with Scarps. So today we are at the Spring Haven Country Club again. We are fortunate to be joined here with Kevin Jackson of Hope for Hallie, one of the co-founders. Kevin is one of the co-founders with his wife Christine. I always mess up Chris and Chrissy and Christine.
She answers to them all.
That's true. So, real quick, what is the Hope for Hallie Foundation?
Well, first, Mike, thank you very much for extending the invitation to me, myself, to come on out here and spend a little time sharing our story, sharing our mission, and being able to talk some crap with Scarps. So I love it. Thank you very much for having us.
We love talking crap. It's what I do for a living, right?
I got some hands in the sewer systems too. So, we can both talk crap. So. Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, my family suffered a terrible tragedy, and the outcome of that has been the formation and the establishment of 501c3 Hope for Hallie, named after my daughter Hallie, who we tragically lost in 2019 to a suicide at the age of 16. Following her passing, my wife and I had just kids coming to us at various hours of the day and night and just wanting us to listen to them. And we were not medical professionals in any way. We were simply just two grieving parents, but we could listen pretty well. And we always prided ourselves on that with the kids. So we found it very easy, but like I said, following her passing, we had some extra money, and we knew we wanted to do something with it, and we were able to have a partnership with a local therapy practice here in Media, and she became our clinical director. Tiu Luder was our clinical director, and ultimately has allowed us to take what was a thought and turn it into purpose, and that is being able to support young adolescents, young kids, with paying for 8 sessions of therapy for them as they reach out to us.
How long has now Hope for Hallie been a 501c operationally?
We lost Hallie just before COVID. And leading into COVID, I knew we need. The short answer is we're approaching our 6-year anniversary here in August. We formed the 501 before we did anything. Before we had a board, before we had a mission, before we had anything. I knew the importance of trying to have some legitimacy with a fully registered 501c3 charity would help us in the long run, and we had that ability very early on to create that. And so the formation has been almost 6 years now.
Before that, were you and your wife, what were you doing just professionally?
I had been with Wawa for 14 years as a store manager, up and down the various pikes and Aves here in Delaware County. Coincidentally, 5 weeks prior to Haley's passing, I had left to take a inside sales position with my current company, Rain for Rent, and wanted to be more active in her college recruiting and participating in her college activities. Unfortunately, never had that chance. Christine, on the other hand, she was a daycare director, having been in education since I met her. One of the first things that attracted to me about her was how incredible she was with the young kids. And so I very quickly grew an affection for her as I saw her in her full-time job. And that was even prior to joining Wawa. So, hope that answers it.
What's the most unique thing about being here and working in here in Delco?
The most unique thing about working in Delaware County.
As a Delco kid who grew up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really full circle for me. I mean, my family, my grandparents were all members here. I grew up here in the 70s. I did not like golf. I was a baseball player, so I stayed away from this side of the course. But I learned the game through caddying out here. But the greatest thing about, I don't know, being in Delaware County, the greatest thing is Delco's everywhere. I was up in Maine last week, and a Massachusetts car pulls up, and out pops an older lady with Eagles jacket on, and go Birds. She says, go Birds right back. So it's like, I mean, it's that kind of great stuff.
So back to Hope for Haley. What are the most ideal age range for you guys to set up help for?
Our demographic is that 14 to 24 age group. In Pennsylvania, at the age of 14, you can legally care for your own mental health. You do not need to have your parents' involvement.
Okay.
So again, we're not medical professionals in any way, but we're really connectors.
Right. That's how you guys have evolved at this point from talking with teens, is to actually get them pointed in the right direction,
right,
with the right people.
Hopefully, right.
Yeah.
And that's the end result that we want. It's been very, I mean, I say it all the time, I wish we didn't have to be doing this work. But this is my purpose now. About 3 years ago, I was just like, this is hitting me, and he can't get hitting me any square in the face.
Right.
Like, this is what we need to be doing. There was always that idea behind it. Obviously, I think and Chris will agree, I was one that pushed a little harder for the formation, for the establishment of the 501 from the get-go. But it certainly has not been easy, just trying to navigate and figure out both the healthcare side, the nonprofit side, the fundraising side. So we're very appreciative of our community. They've given us the power to really push through our trauma and our grief, and ultimately coming out with helping others through it. And that's been probably that, and getting to say her name every day is probably the greatest thing still.
And have that immortalized. That's awesome. So, one thing that you think is most understood by people about mental health?
Most understood or
most misunderstood? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I lost my father to suicide. Be 28 years. It's coming to be 29 years in February. We were in business together, but I was 30. So I've been, unfortunately, around these kinds of things for a lot of part of my life.
Right.
There's been situations even previous to that where it's affected me, and I've been around a situation revolving a suicide. So it's always been on my mind. Your question, go ahead again. Sorry.
Most misunderstood.
Misunderstood would be the stigma associated with mental health. My dad's generation, shoot, you were probably playing some little, wee football when coaches were still putting smelling salts underneath your nose and get back out there, right? Like concussions are a big part of
Yeah.
it. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things that lead to someone's having a mental health issue or concern. There's no face.
Right.
There's really no face. So if bottom line is, if you feel that there's, reach out for help. That's the greatest thing, especially for the men who feel like we have to hold it in, bottle it up, can't talk about it. Um, you know, that trend is it's getting smaller and smaller, and people are realizing the importance of
Yeah. I think
being able to talk.
so many people now are so health conscious that they understand that we have no problem going to a doctor for a sprain, but the stigma of going to a doctor to talk about something that's on your mind has certainly faded a little bit from, from people talking with through a problem, talking to somebody. I think there's
Without a doubt. I mean, certainly in the 6 years that I've probably been more enlightened to this topic more than ever, I've seen improvements in that area. And I certainly can reflect back to my father's passing in 1998 when the stigma was, you didn't talk about it. And I had no choice. We were in business together. My customers wanted to know where my dad was
right.
one day, and he's there, and the next day he's not. And like, you don't hide from that. I don't hide from that.
Right.
So I was an open book then. I think it's important to talk about it, share stories, and ultimately the goal is to be able to save one more person, from making a decision that's everlasting, and you can't take it back. A lot of people hurt, left behind.
So you already started mentioning one of the positives. You've mentioned a few positives. One of the ones. What do you think is the most positive to come out of this? I mean, obviously, you're saying to be able to memorialize your daughter, um, being able to memorialize somebody while helping others. Do you think?
Well, I mean, selfishly, very early on, I wanted nothing but to be able to have my daughter remembered and keep her memory alive as long as possible. Um, that quickly, um, and for good reason, changed, and it's back to there is no face. And we realized very quickly that, what we set out to be one thing transition to include as many people and be about as many people as we can possibly help.
You guys are a ground up 501c. There are, a lot of 501cs that we work with or support. You guys have certainly touched, I would assume at this point, hundreds of lives. I mean, do you guys have even close to an approximate number, the amount of people that you've helped get someone to speak with at this point?
We have a very definitive number of the number of therapy sessions that we've paid. We're approaching paying out almost 2,500 therapy sessions. So people that we've helped, including that, up to, I think our number on the website's in like the 5,000 or 6,000, but people that through social media that have, those reports and so forth, our website has it over 1 million people that we've been able to touch. Yeah. So it's all been about awareness. And then our acronym is CARE, connection, awareness, resources, and education. And that's what we really try and focus any of our decision making on. How is it touching it has to touch these 4 pivot points in order for us to make that decision. So we're learning as we're growing too. So that was very important for us to be a connector, to have the awareness, and we've done a very good job with both of those.
Any advice that you would have for anybody else looking to start their own 501c? It ain't easy.
No,
it ain't easy. It's a lot of work.
I mean, it's Facebook pages I'm on, following, hearing it. I mean, again, I would not have even thought we could be anywhere close to the size or have the reach that we've had it not been back to community. That truly was that cog that was allowing us to have different spokes off of that. And that community passion for what we were hoping and wanting to do turned into the 501, and then from there, is there any advice? I mean, a passion you had. I mean, in our instance, there was a passion behind it.
Yeah.
That I don't know that you could just find. It doesn't have to be a tragedy to have passion, and there's all sorts of wonderful nonprofits out there. The biggest concern is everything's predicated on how much money you can raise. You can have the greatest ideas and you want to do something that's never been done, but if you don't have the support of your community and the belief in what you are doing from others in the community and that outside group, then you don't have that financial support. So that's, again, back to what's allowed us to continue thriving, to do what we've wanted to do, is that community support has been something I could never have imagined happening.
And so to the fundraising stuff, you guys have multiple events. You have the color run you guys just did, right? You have the golf event. Is that, you think, your biggest?
Without a doubt, that's our flagship.
That's here.
That's here at Spring Haven for the September 28th.
September 28th.
Yep, on a Monday.
Are spots still available? Sponsorship still available, right?
Yep, everything's still available on our website at hopeforhallie.org. Yep, follow us on social media at Hope for Hallie. But yeah, there's golfing opportunities, there's sponsorship opportunities. The other probably our second biggest event is our car show that we hold annually in Brookhaven.
Coburn at
Coburn Elementary School every July.
That's across from the Butterfly Garden.
Across from the Haley Jackson Butterfly Garden, correct. Very indebted to Brookhaven. Again, back to community. Some really wonderful people have taken what we've wanted to do and bring it into the community and turned it into positives within their own residences. So we're overwhelmed and overjoyed with everything that Brookhaven has done for us. But yeah, the car shows are our second biggest probably event in terms of just size. I mean, we've had upwards of 400 cars. Really just, what's a car show have to do with mental health? Well, a lot of the men that are bringing their cars are that older generation that have that stigma that already established, like, and then they come and they hear Kevin Haney talk. Then they come and hear Kevin
bearded
Haney talk.
Giant of a man.
With tattoos everywhere, talking about mental health and the importance of breaking down and being able to ask for help when you need it. And it all makes sense. And then these people are bringing their grandkids the next year because they want their grandkids to hear this.
Yeah.
He's truly a special individual. Very lucky to have him on our board.
Great guy.
And then, yes, as you mentioned, the Color Run is in early May, Mental Health Awareness Month. We hold a 1 mile walk run around the track where Haley first learned her love for track. So there's a 1 mile walk run, a 100-yard dash for anyone that wants to do that, as well as a one lap relay. And it's great having some of the moms and the dads that probably haven't run a quarter of a lap in 30 years, but they're lacing up their sneakers and they're going out there and they're having a great time. So the smiles on the kids is really, that event is truly a family filled event, as well as the car show. But
website hopeforhaley.org.
.org.
Calendar's on there. The link to the golf event here is on there. One of the reasons we asked some of the 501c to come on is because like you said, you guys run off of donations. You guys are one of my personal favorite ones. I'm not one of those people that believe that you shouldn't talk about your feelings. You should absolutely talk about your feelings, and that's why we love you guys. We love what you've done and what you've done for all the families that you've been able to help. And so, but they work off of donations. It's the way this works. They're not government funded. They work off of donations. So they're always looking for sponsorships and more golfers for their event.
Volunteers, always.
Volunteers is a hard one. That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I have no problem trying to get our table and tent to any sort of a community event, because that's where our awareness piece falls in. But it takes a lot. I have a full-time job. Fortunately, she's our executive director, but our only employee. And when it's time for an event, I'm there to set the table up, break it down, grab the wagon, bring
right.
Take it back to the storage unit. So, but it's the love.
Yeah. September 28th here at the Springhaven Club. A lot of work been done on the course. It is beautiful. It will be even better, hopefully, if that's possible. Everything's green.
It looks amazing.
Everything is dry right now, which is phenomenal.
And if you have nice weather, you have a great event.
Yeah.
So,
and if you have great people at the event, it's a lot of fun. We've been involved for a couple of years. Great dinner afterwards. And it's a really good turnout. They have a ton of stuff afterwards. The open bar, one of my favorite parts of it. Coach Evans, big fan of the open bar also.
Yep. We'll have raffle items and auction items.
I think I bought a signed Mike Tyson's Punch-Out last year.
Thank you for the support.
It's on my it's actually hanging behind my desk in my office right now. But But so listen, we appreciate you guys tuning in for this one. Kevin and Chris are literally two of my favorite human beings on this planet.
That's very nice.
They have virtually dedicated so many hours at this point in their lives to helping other people. It's something we don't see too often, but the amount of time that they have put in, the amount of lives they have touched, is something that I think this community is in debt to. The amount of families that you have touched without having to touch those families, and knowledge through pain. And so hopeforhallie.org. We appreciate Kev coming out. We love him. We love Chris. And we love you guys. Come back. Thanks.
Thank you.